because tomorrow I want to be doing the meditations with you and the movement. So the cards that I pulled earlier today in class, which are these 3 cards, I'm going to read a little bit more in depth into these because I thought it was quite significant that Omega and Alpha dragons come up with this dark and light. And the eclipse tomorrow, we've got beautiful dark moon, the new moon, and this is source energy, this light, holding the light. This is what I feel lots of us are doing or here to do, to anchor, those of you, me especially. But I do want to speak for those that aren't aware of the stuff that's coming up. So if you Google the 8th at the moment, I was going to do this, I haven't done it, but if you Google the eclipse, the 8th, and actually, oh wow, the computer stopped doing this crazy thing. For the whole evening, it's been speaking to me with a voiceover, and I'm like, oh well, we're in Mercury. And normally I want it to do that because with the whole dyslexic thing, I highlight the text, get it to read it to me. And it just randomly started doing it. It's not even on. It says it's off and it was doing it. So I was putting it on, trying to turn it off. So that was going on in the background. I was like, oh okay, what's this about? What's this a reminder to sit and actually be here and try and physically change it? And then as soon as I let it go, it literally shifted. Anyway, I'm digressing. But the fact that it wasn't going to start talking to me was great. Perfect divine timing. So the eclipse on the 8th, I've been talking about leading up to, and with eclipse energy, you have 6 months either side of that. It's tomorrow at 7, is it 7:22, I think it was? Let me write, I'll make some notes. 7, I'm sure I made notes, but no. Lots of notes here on the 8th. Oh, I'm sure it was 7, yes. Oh, yes, yeah, 7:22 p.m. Okay, so tomorrow, 7:22 p.m. UK time. So I want to meditate through that for myself. That's something I'm going to be doing. I will create a video for you tomorrow, a longer movement. But the video that we did today is a good one to do because it's for weight loss. It's more it's sweat. You can kind of really move the body and shift the body. That will help. So just a couple of notes that I wrote from the astrology. So we got Chiron and the healer planet. So this Mercury conjunct with Eris. Now, I really relate to the Eris energy because Eris was the one that chucked something into the surface, say, above Eris, and all the gods started arguing. So I remember hearing this story from Pam Gregory and thinking, oh well, but she wants people to see the truth and will bring up the chaos in order for people, create chaos in order for the truth to come out. So that energy is conjunct with Mercury's communication. So this is like equal opportunities for everyone, truth and justice that's associated with Eris. Then we've got, so from the 2nd to the 25th of April, so this is happening as well. We've got Mercury is retrograde. That's why I mean, it's with the computer. But this is like thinking, having to think maybe about how we communicate, overhaul of our relationships. But this conjunction of Chiron, Pam Gregory was talking about this in her video, and you can, if you Google Pam, you can take a look at that video. I'll try and remember to put a link in my description. But she was saying on the 21st of March, we had this conjunction, and then on the 17th and the 18th, and then we got it of April, and then on the 6th of May. And this, in the middle, is when it's retrograde. But this conjunction of Chiron and of the healer, it's allowing us to take a look at things, our actual wounding and our healing. And what I was feeling into is that this, and lots of people are talking about, this is a chance for us to shift the stories, to shift. And like I was saying on the Instagram video, that we are suddenly aware that we've got this beautiful light coming through, and everyone's referring to this. There's lots of the dark and the polarity, and I will speak to that. In fact, like there's, for example, these are the examples. There's a comet going by that's called the Devil. It's like all of these little signs and prophecy when you tune into that they're there. The CERN is going to be started up, and they're trying to find the particle of the Big Bang, and that there's fears around the fact that they have already broken and opened like mini black holes and messed with timelines with what they were doing. On the fear side of that, I feel energetically what I was being told, that that's already been sorted, and the grid workers are making sure that doesn't happen, or that there's the potential for that. But as for me, and my own guidance from the Black Cat Guardian Order, the Timeline Council, that's been sorted out. There's no need for us to fear this duality. And I shared one of these stories on my Instagram that was like talking about these two lines of time where it's like one way of living and you're being an awareness of that, and then it's another way of living in this sphere. That's dissolved. We're all on that higher timeline. So that's my take on that. That was a possibility, but we've averted from that. That's not happening now. So a lot of this prophecy stuff, yes, these signs were if we didn't do stuff by this time period in our history, and there are a lot of clearing coming up from those timelines. So some of the people are still kind of not yet cleared some of those histories, those stories, and it might be as simple as like your thought forms and the way that you see yourself, and you've not necessarily stepped into your sovereign purpose. If that's you, don't panic. It's fine. So I mentioned the comet, CERN, and the fact that NASA during eclipses are they use the eclipse to analyze data and prove theories that they can't necessarily do when there's not an eclipse, because of the way they can see things and the way things are aligned. But everyone was saying about the name of what they're shooting up is an Egyptian. I can't remember the name of it actually. I was looking for the video to show you, but I did share it on my stories. I think it was yesterday, and I thought, yeah, and the comet. But so all these little things, and then the path of the eclipse is going to be over certain states and certain names that all relate to stuff in the Bible, and reference to the rapture, and all of this stuff. Prophecy. Okay, but I want to move you away from all of that, because I feel a lot of the energy related to it is fear-based, and we don't need to be focusing on that. What you can be focusing on is the energy and the shifts. And what I've been tuning into, and what my guidance is telling me, is this is about the sun and the moon, is the masculine and the feminine, and there is the dynamic of the polarity coming up. But if you think about the hippocampus of the brain and the way we conceptualize, the way we think about things, our understanding, this is expansion, especially around the 20th of April. So I had 3 confirmations from this. Obviously, my own confirmation, Pam, and I can't remember her surname's Rebecca. I think I called her Rebecca in my Instagram video. There's an interview that Pam did with this beautiful lady. I love her energy, and I can't remember her name. Anyway, she had mentioned around this date, and so does Maitland, which is Jamie Butler, who channels Maitland, had said around the 20th of April being great for spiritual connection. And from that time onward, we've got this energy of opening for the dimension, so you can do your astral projection, you can connect with that sort of any CB outer body OBEs, CB outer body experiences. That's when you can do that, but make sure it's very grounded in and anchored in this earthly body, so you're doing what you need to do. That's one thing. So there's that access for that. What I would suggest is meditating, movement, and allowing, do what feels right for you. Because for some of us, I've been preparing for the last month because I've really felt called to detox. And not just on the physical body. I mean, I'm sitting here and I am no angel by any means. I'm not perfect. I'm no guru. Here I have a pile of artwork that I've been meaning to put online. That's my stuff to sort. So that now, circumstances in my personal life is meaning that I've got to sort that out. I've got a timeline to do that now. So, which is perfect. So leaning into that energy for me is great. And as I've said many times before, and as Elizabeth Peru, this is where I learned this from, and she taught me to love the eclipse energy. Think of it like a cupboard you shove everything into, and you keep putting stuff in, I'll deal with that later, whether it's emotionally or the fact you should be doing something about your diet or your body or fit on the physical. Yeah, I'll give up the coffee or whatever it is you want to do and you should be doing. I need to exercise more, whatever. Or yes, I know I've got that pattern, I always have that story. This is when it will show up for you. You get clarity around eclipse energy, and that is the same in the collective energy, because it's not that these things haven't been happening. They've been happening and we've been aware of them, and lots of the light workers are definitely aware of them. It's just that maybe the 3D world kind of puts it to the back of the mind, or yeah, I don't like to think that goes on. That's when things comes up. So sometimes it looks a bit dark because things are coming up. But if you think about when the eclipse happens tomorrow, it's like there's this darkness is kind of obscuring the light, and then the light comes open and out, and it's like, oh my God, it's like bright light. Suddenly I'm aware. It's like, oh God, yes, I can understand that now. Yes, I get it. That's the feeling of the eclipse. That's what it happens. I suddenly realize I can't do this anymore, or I've got to sort that out, and everything falls out the cupboard. So that energy is for all eclipses. This one in particular, and where it is its totality, that in those areas, that's where we're going to see that kind of understanding, that clarity coming up. But it affects all of us on all levels. So the cards I pulled today were Alpha Dragon, Harness the Divine Masculine, the Power of Creation, Destroy the Old, and Visualize the Dream. Help you to manifest. Hello. You're coming over to destroy things, are we? Bobo. I don't think everyone wants to see your bottom, but you can say hello. You want to say hi? I know what you want. He's got his treat bag over there that he keeps knocking over. Do you want me? You can sit with me if you want. If you're good. Yeah? I can't lock them out. I love them around me, I'm sorry. I know it's unprofessional, but I love my furry babies. All 5 of them. And the other 4 in non-physical. So, Omega is harness the divine feminine power of creation, intention, and holding the vision, the birth of high consciousness. And both these aspects are present. You can go down there? Here we go. So we got the masculine and the feminine. And I really feel, so those are those 2. I really feel that this is so apparent. We have the toxic masculine we're familiar with that may be showing up, but this is to destruction of that toxic masculine. Instead, it's that masculine now stepping into the divine masculine and holding that vision. We still want that masculine energy, but they're the beautiful feminine energy as well. So also there was the talk of Magdalena astrology, the sign of something to do with Mary Magdalene, and I was like, oh wow, that's the sacred sexuality that I keep banging on about, that I've felt that's in need of, where kind of the root chakra of the world has been opening up, and in part of that is our understanding of all of this, its associations around this and it again leans into that shadow and the dark of the things we don't want to think about, and I certainly don't want to think about what goes on. And I know in social media you've seen loads of famous people putting up one finger with a red fingernail, which is about trafficking, sex trafficking. So this is that dark energy, the toxic side of that. But in bringing it into the divine masculine, the divine aspect of the sacred sexuality of masculine and feminine, then we're seeing how we can shift out of that. That can be cleared, that can be sorted, that can be gone from the consciousness, from having that in our world. So holding and visualizing the dream, well, the part of the dream of that would be that is no more. There's no need for that, because everyone in the planet, everyone of this planet, on this planet, has the balance within their sexuality of masculine and feminine. And this is where I feel this is really important. And this is this golden energy that I'm saying, and about that, like, he's got that wheel there. He's got his chi ball and the dragon. And the other day in the meditation, we had, I literally, when I closed my eyes, I was feeling galactic friends around, and there was this beautiful dragon that was wrapped around me, or the feeling of it being wrapped around me, like my cat does, and licked from my nose up to the third eye. And as we were like saying thank you, and it flew up above and high, and it was like pulling, as if it was pulling my eye up and lifting that energy, and that whole expansion that I feel is very relevant at the moment. And I keep saying it's a merging of right and left brain. And obviously I'm no doctor, I'm no scientist, but this, I'm only giving you the visuals that I'm being shown of what is happening on the physical level during the ascension. So this is this expansion, and it literally is this back part, the hippocampus, I think it's called, which is why I was saying banging the drum, which is when we put our hands in and we lift from the thumbs and just lift up and off and back, and you just banging the drum here and massaging in this little well here at the back of the head. Also this point here, another acupressure point, if you go up, back, around and down. And you naturally, if you've got a headache, touch these points. So they'll help if you do feel resistance to the light coming in. But I don't think that there necessarily is a need for that. He has the figure of 8 above him as well. This is, his Tao is almost like in a figure of 8. Same with this here. The other alpha has the golden feather. It's like messages from beyond. If you look at that symbology of that image, holding gold in the hand, holding the silver light, the liquid plasmic, this creative intuition, and being in infinite creation, being in creative energy. So that will help you to manifest by visualizing where it is we want to be. So not thinking about, yes, there's all these symbols and its association with dark. If that's happening, okay, if you need to like acknowledge that, great. But understand that's not even on our radar. We are holding light that is so much more powerful that one person in alignment just would cancel out half of that. It just pales in comparison. I can't express enough how beautiful this energy that's flowing. But great light creates that great shadow, and I just feel, yeah, every time I say that, and I go back to that old way of thinking, it's got to be this, and you've got to have that to create the movement and the changes. That's not what comes back. It's like, no, we've moved away from that. There's no need from that. We've evolved from that. Although we're not yet living that, energetically that's already shifted. the timeline itself is there's no need to worry about all these signs, because it is a sign that we've come this far, we've gone beyond it. So be still and be silent. Magic happens in the moment. So spend time tomorrow going within. I will do a meditation tomorrow. Already they're giving me images to share, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow. I just want to read what Diane Cooper says about each of this to see if there's anything else here. So we've got Source Dragon. See if I can just flick through it. Let's look it up. They've not got numbers on these ones. So Omega. (106) and 108. So it's page 106 and 108 if you have this book, which is the Dragon Oracle cards. So these incredible galactic dragons carry Archangel Metatron's highest light. Now, for those of you that are, like myself, familiar with the Voyagers, the Metatronic, I believe, and in actual fact has been redeemed. I know, I feel like a lot of that work was, at the time, it was in alignment with what was being said, and things were out of alignment. Now I feel that's been put right, if that makes sense. So this is associated with the Alpha, though, which incidentally is the dark. So harnessing the divine masculine, and it's the masculine energy, the different way. And I felt like that was where the toxic aspect of that was. Now I feel we're coming into the divine aspect of that anyway. So just as an advance. Anyway, Metatron's highest light, so the highest part of that soul family, and live in and continue to breathe in the yang energy of manifestation into our world, because they have the power of the physical manifestation, which it all relates back to the fall from grace, a creation of matter, association with angelics, and how that brought that into the physical realms. Because they have the power of the physical manifestation, they work with our thoughts when we, or the collective mind of humanity, are ready to bring something into creation. So that means that that energy in itself creates the timelines, the energy, the matter, that all the thought forms of the collective pulls together, it brings it into being. We're past a point where there's a stronger pull for these higher timelines, but there was still a lot that have got the thought forms to clear up. If you think of it as terms of, it needs spring cleaning, and this eclipse is a very powerful time for that spring cleaning. You can allow all of those old energies, old timeline stories from past lives, future, present, past, as I've explained, all one in the same, happening simultaneously. So you literally rewrite the past in this now moment and are drawn to that new future from it. So these are the enormous and powerful dragons. They only work for the highest good. As they can build, they can also destroy. They are entering our world now at the end of the old era and start of the new, to facilitate the destruction of that which no longer serves our planet. And a lot of these things that aren't serving us, we're used to having. Planet and construction of the new world. The new world is already here. If you look you'll see that there are amazing groups, there's amazing people doing amazing work. I try and share as much of that as possible so people can see actually it's not all negative. It's like you see this blip of all the horrible things and we see just that focus. But when you look at everything else that's happening in the bigger picture from higher perspective, there's so much changing. And I know that that's hard and that seems a little bit airy-fairy. And I said, actually, my newsfeed is filled up with this horrible stuff, especially as it's all coming to light. But the fact it's coming to light means it can be cleared. It's like you can see the dirt on the windows, so you can now wash them away. You can now clean it up and you can tidy it up, and people are launching rockets of desire for that shift, for that change. And the more people that do that, the more that this brings that energy into manifesting that. So Alpha Dragons are bringing you a very special message. You are being called to demonstrate creative forces in your current project to experience. So ask these magnificent beings to assist you. So call in these energies from the highest good of all and the strength as you visualize what you want to build. And we'll do that in the meditation tomorrow. You can also ask these dragons to support you in constructing our new fifth dimensional world. Well, I think that's well, I say nice is probably the wrong word. We talk about the 5D and all of this. I think it gives people more another polarity, another like bouncing of us and them. And actually I want to move away from that. I want to let go of that whole judgment of that's the way, that way's wrong, this way's right. There's an expansion of this. It's more feeling into and being and demonstrating in our own sovereign energy to be the best person that we can be. You can also ask them to support you. So just connecting with your intention for support and holding the vision for the golden age, which is here. They take the picture and breathe life into them. So if you want to just visualize a beautiful dragon breathing energy, like I saw that image, as I said, being licked by this beautiful image of a dragon, the symbology of what that means, and picture it. This is the card of raw power of creation, the Big Bang. So ensure your intentions are pure. So hold that as big. No, we're not going to create all this dark fear energy. Instead, it's going to create this beautiful light. So Alpha, following page, Omega is harnessing the divine feminine. So the 9th dimensional Omega dragons carry the divine feminine. For those of you who know about sacred geometry, and Tesla and his code, so the 3699 is creation. It's a circle. It goes into that is creation on the physical level of a reality. It's Gaia. Anyway, our creation world, the Shakti is the feminine counterpart of Archangel Metatron's higher light. So represents the pure creation vision. These powerful beings are assisting the birth of higher consciousness. This is this expansion of these drawing of the brain so you can actually contain and understand more information. And I was saying before, I feel this is, we're not even thinking linearly anymore. When you, especially from the 20th of April, you have this access to that if you want that to be multi-dimensional, have that channeling experience, that drawing in, seeing things merging. And I know lots and lots of people are visually seeing some amazing experiences that they're having with their higher self, for want of a better word, the multi-aspect side to us, our future present selves or past life self, all coming together and kind of living that higher states of being, that more psychic awareness, if you said in other terms, instinctive knowing, more telepathy, and understanding it in an intuitive manner, and working in a very 3D way with those abilities and experiences throughout your life, so you're more instinctively with it. The golden age and the will enable us to achieve the intention set by Lady Gaia for the evolution of the planet. The planet itself has evolved. It's already evolving. It's pulling us along with it for the ride. The beautiful silver white dragon will also help you. So when we're pulling in our practice, that silver white plasmic light, that's this essence of this. The highest good, always set for the highest good, as I say, for central sun, whatever it is the highest intention for all of humanity and life in the universe. Every wish starts with a thought, and that's what we want. This heart energy with the crown chakra energy is another way of thinking of it. The dragon can see into the mind and will hold our vision with us. So it's that plasmic light of creation, bring it into reality. When the dragon comes to you, if you see the vision of this, if you're working with this diamond plasmic light that I think is relevant, that's within space, it's pre particles, the birth of the particle. The dragon comes to you, it's time to give birth to the special new project, the pathways and aspects of yourself that has remained hidden. Call upon these dragons or envision this will fill you with the power of the divine feminine, the creation energy, say the gold linked with the silver. This will enable you to hold your vision and bring it to fruition in a wise, balanced and harmonious way. Most important of all, ask the Omega Dragon to look into the greatest desire of your soul and hold the vision and bring it into manifestation. So I feel like, yes, there's probably going to be things that you want to bring into your life, but think about the highest aspect of that. What could you do? So for example, if you want abundance, what are you going to do with that abundance? How are you going to, is it to like help, oh, great example. The other day I saw this advert come up on the TV of what was happening with animals, and I straight away, and I was like, I don't often do this. We see them all the time, but felt really called to donate to this charity, and thought, actually, this is the sort of thing we could help with more of that. When I was traveling, seeing these cats and how they were treated, I thought, right, what kind of charity can we set up to help these animals to have better conditions and better feeding? You're back again. Like this, beautiful to be looked after like you, yeah, and doted on. I know. All right, hang on. I'm nearly done. Let me just finish this one, okay, or these two. So most important of all is ask for that and still your mind. Give the permission to merge with your energy and ask for that. Soften your pathways and the path of all who hold the vision of the new age. So it's not allowing anything that's benevolent in. Hold that whatever comes will be for the highest good, because you don't want to call in anything if there's any fear. You want to be open and receptive to the you're gonna go down again. Holding that vision of it being an amazing day, not being a negative day, that tomorrow is the start of our expansion on a real deep level. Source, she says, they're all from, interesting, they're all the 9th dimensional dragons. 1110, so that should be these 3. So literally these 3 pages in the book all together. In the center of all of dimension, the galaxies and the universe is an infinite point of pure stillness and love. This is the heart of source, and from it flows the most incredible illumination. At the wish of source flows forth the illuminated angels known as the Sephron Singh Ortham, the vibration of master creation at the 12th dimension. I believe, I know it says in the book 12, but for me, this is up even higher. This is like, that's sort of human perspective. It's 15. If you're talking in layers, it goes even higher than that frequency. This allows the wall of the creator to spread as seeds through into the universe. The 9th dimension transparent white source dragons exist purely to attend to the divine will and turn wishes into reality. They step down from the light to the 9th dimension level so that we can access it. They act as portals of light through which we can connect with the energy of the infinite. Source Dragon has come to you now because it's time for you to enjoy a period of stillness. With awareness, breathe deeply and listen to the silence. Something very sacred is coming into your life. This could be anything from fruition of long-held dreams to becoming a true master. It is being presented to you. Be diligent, calm and focused, and remember to breathe deeply. Breath is the key to being in the moment, and this is where the great magic happens. Ask the Source Dragon to accompany you every step of every existence, new journey, and always remember that the present moment creates your future. The point of power is in the moment. So actually, I'm like, what do I need to share? What do I need to share? And they was like, let's share that. Let's connect with that. Let's be in the moment with breath. So take a moment to just center yourself into heart coherence. So you can place your hand on your heart if it helps, or just pop them into the lap. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. I'm not going to go into a deep breath work or a Kundalini breath work. I just want you to just breathe and be present and try and be as still as possible. Feel the body in stillness, but allow the breath to still move. So you've got that movement happening of the body, and just being aware of that. I'm going to do it with you. So I will talk you through it, but I'll go quiet for a period. Just breathing in and out through the nose and in through the nose, out through the nose and in through the nose. And try and breathe in as slowly as possible and out. And next time, hold at the top, breathing in, hold and out. One of the things I suggested for this month, or felt called to suggest, was to revert you back to my observing and connected 30-day challenge, and just taking 3 minutes each day to do this, to give space. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes now. Instantly, it's 23:23. We're going to do three, and we're going to do the third 3 minutes, 7th of April, which is transformation. A shift and change. Just connecting into your breath, your trinity of inhale, pause, exhale, pause, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. But with that little, at the top of the pyramid of that, pause. But do that in your own breath. You don't have to do the breath that I'm doing. And for the last minute, just think about being thankful in your own thought belief systems. Thank you, angels, whatever you want to say. God, Goddess, thank you for this divine energy that's flowing through me. Thank you for the connection to Source. Infinite love and gratitude for the presence of the stillness within me, the peace, this emergence of love through my fields. I am open and receptive to the highest aspects of myself, now and always. Thank you. And that was 3 minutes. So, love and blessings for your now moment. Try and do that when you want. 3 minutes is just so quick. If you're someone that says, I don't have time to meditate, then you need to do 3 minutes a day. And allow whatever happens. It doesn't have to be a peaceful, amazing experience. You might sit there crying for 3 minutes, but just being in the breath and allowing that emotions to come up to be acknowledged, and actually being thankful for that, which is what the Observing and Connecting Challenge that I did a few years ago, it's on the list on my channel, so on this channel, so and it's free, it's there for you to work through. Anyway, so I shall finish with that. I will see you tomorrow. We will go into a deep meditation for the eclipse around the evening, around the eclipse. I want to do one for myself and do one separately for you guys. But the movement meditation that we did today, that is up, I think I put it public, that video, because it's for weight loss, that's good to do and move through the eclipse. Obviously, Meditation Monday tomorrow, we will do a guided meditation, and I will see what I'm called to do. But the guidance is to just breathing in fresh chi, if you like, you want to call it prana, ki, Reiki, we call it ki. In Chinese, we call it chi, and obviously prana in Indian cultures. So breath, life force, I like to think of it as divine energy calling in your soul in the highest good of all. And just being still and listening to the breath, the movement, the emotions, and the thoughts. And as the screen just went down on me, feeling into what's right for you. So all those things are things that I'm being called to do, I'm being called to share. But if you're being called to, like, I don't know, sleep, do what's right, do what your body is telling you it needs, and listen to the body, listen to the thoughts. If it's have a good cry, have a good cry. If it's move the body and sweat, do that. Get out in nature, be present underneath it, whatever's right for you. But visualize the dream and feel the feminine and the masculine linking, expanding, and almost like I want to sort of think about the head just getting bigger, not as in like I've got a big head, look at me, ego energy, but feeling that openness, the receptiveness to your expansion. So blessings in your now moment, and I will see you tomorrow, and thank you for your time.